Alright, good afternoon everybody. Alright, today's gonna be quite the day because I'm gonna try to draw live on stream. So, I was thinking about things and, Hard Drive 32, it's gonna be about me working on indie dev games, and my art background is like in art, but the programming side I have to learn as well. However, I thought it'd be cool if today I started splitting the streams between half art, half programming. And so that keeps me, kind of dusts off the drawing skills, and lets me get started on the project itself. So just a reminder, my name is Alex Wolken, and this channel is Hard Drive 32. It's about reviving nostalgia for 32-bit games like PlayStation era, but I want to do cool experimental stuff using modern day dev techniques, so modern lighting engines, particle effects, all sorts of cool things. I want to see what happens when you smash the old school 32-bit generation with AAA modern gen and see what we get. So today, the illustrations I'll be working on is actually going to be for our lead heroine, this game that I currently have a project that I'm naming Old Money. And the basic premise of it is, what if the world corporations came from like real old money, like ancient money? Say they were ancient vampires. So like a Jeff Bezos in actuality is a vampire or a werewolf. And it's almost like, the other nickname I have for it is like corporate Castlevania. So your lead girl is a secretary within one of these offices and discovers that in the upper floors they were actually all monsters. And she was on the corporate baseball team, and so her weapon of choice to fight these bad guys is going to be a blessed silver bat. And as far as like the gameplay goes, I would say the best comparisons is going to be like Klonoa, Odin Sphere, and Yoshi's Story. And I'll go ahead and I'll switch to my screen so that way I can show you guys what I'm kind of talking about. For some people, those games are going to ring a bell and it's super familiar to you. But for those that don't know, let me pop open a few snapshots for you guys. So, we'll start with the first one of Klonoa. It's a really cool platformer series. Got to start in the PlayStation days. And just had a real charming, aesthetic to it. Let me see if I can actually find a higher res image to show off to you guys. Oh, and before I keep going, let me check my audio. I want to make sure my audio is not all jacked up. Sweet. Now audio's going okay. And by the way, if you do think my baby level drawing skills impress you, or you're just like, I want to see this baby get better at drawing, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll be streaming every day. So hopefully every day you see a little improvement out of me. Alright, so here's Klonoa. I'm trying to find the perfect image to convey what I'm talking about with this. Yeah, here you go. This is great. Let me zoom in on the snapshot. So what made Klonoa, one of the neat aspects of Klonoa is that the stages, oh, here we go. This perfect is exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, so what made Klonoa so cool, and a couple other 32-bit games from PlayStation, Sega Saturn would do this, but they were platformers, like a Mario game, but they took place on like cylinders a lot of the times. So you would have in the center a boss or monsters around this ring, and you would go in this circle fighting the bad guy. And so that's part of what I want to do with this game is I think it'd be awesome if, as you're moving up these skyscrapers to get to the CEOs, the werewolf CEO, the undead lich CEO, skeleton CEO, whatever, you exit out of the elevator and you're at one part of the floor, and your character has to defeat all the enemies on that floor, and it's like a big ring, so you're moving from left to right. So it's like a platform that you can just keep going in circles on. And your lead girl, she's got her bat and baseball, or softball, and so she can hit that softball, and they can fly around this ring. And if you want to, when the ball comes back around, you can hit it again and generate even more force, kind of like ping pong it around the arena as it hits enemies and stuff, or you can just like catch it again so that way you can fire off the ball again. And another thing is I was thinking it'd be cool if like each of the bosses had a particular sport that they're good in. So like for example, I'm thinking werewolves. Werewolves are in charge of the cosmetic industry just because, you know, they're all about manscaping their furscapes. And so they might be playing lacrosse. So whenever you get to the final boss, this werewolf, they'll be like a lacrosse playing, so they'll be shooting their own projectiles at you. And sometimes, for example, the skeleton boss, I was thinking could be massive and could be in the very center of the ring and would slam down their skeleton hands and you would dodge it and stuff. So I really want to play around with that ring concept and do cool things with how she fires off her ball, as well as like the enemy shooting off waves of, you know, energy and you jumping between it, all sorts of cool stuff. It's got a lot of potential that I think would be really neat. And the other thing was, so I mentioned Klonoa, so that's kind of like Klonoa. Klonoa is going to be both for aesthetic as well as like how they design their levels around a ring. And I want to, you know, pull a lot from that. Probably play through Klonoa on this stream just to get inspiration because it's been a while since I played it. Another game that does that, by the way, is the Goemon games on N64. It's a really cool game. If you guys haven't played it, Goemon, Mystical Ninja on N64. Awesome. It's really cool. The other game I was going to mention was Yoshi's Story. So, Yoshi's Story, any one of these pictures will do, but let me see if I can find a good one. So Yoshi's Story had a mechanic where Yoshi would shoot off his eggs and they would bounce around. And that's what I'm kind of pulling from whenever it comes to like how her bat functions. So that's like what I'm going to base the gameplay as far as her baseball bat goes, and her firing mechanic is you'll get to aim the baseball before you fire. And I'm thinking too, there might be, this is where the scope of the game keeps increasing, but we're going to try. But whenever you go to aim your bat, time will slow down for a moment, and it'll be a time, you'll get like a timer for how long it'll stay slowed down, but within that time you can aim the angle at which the baseball will be fired off and bounce around the arena. And then, so Yoshi's Story is what I'm pulling the baseball from, and then I think there's a third game I was going to mention, but I was going to bring up Odin Sphere. Yeah, so Odin Sphere is another really cool game. I'm not going to do visually what they did because it's just too incredible for a single person. But Odin Sphere on PS2, and they did HE re-releases as well. This right here, this Odin Sphere game, all of its levels take place on a ring too. So wherever you start on the ring, you can go back around, and if you look in the top right portion of it, they have a map to show where the enemies are as well as your position. And so I'm going to definitely have a mini map to show where the character is, where the monsters are, as well as your ball is at any moment. And I'll probably, once I get to the stage where I have some of the art done, or I should say some of the prototype done, I'll likely look to dev videos of how the Odin Sphere people, Vanillaware is the company that made it, how the Vanillaware team actually constructed this, because one of the hardest things to do is going to be taking a 2D area, so you think of the game as 2D, and then I'm wrapping it around a cylinder. And not only am I wrapping it around a cylinder, I'm firing a projectile off, and I have to make sure this projectile doesn't fly off the cylinder. And it's the same thing with how their characters work here. If you were to think about it, technically, this girl here in the center, if this was on a cylinder, if she walked straight positive, negative, +1, -1, and so forth, on the X plane in 3D space, she could walk away from the cylinder. Because, hey, okay, yeah, here you go. Look at this mug here. I feel like I want to demonstrate to you guys how a black hole works whenever you pick up an object. So, if she's here on the cylinder, if I just had her walk left and right, she would eventually just walk right off or walk the other way. So I gotta find a way to make sure that the characters are always wrapping around it. Same thing for projectiles and everything. So that's gonna be a little complex. It's gonna be a lot complex. You'll see my positivity makes me think anything is possible. And it will be, because we're not giving up. So those are the 3 games that I'm basing the concept on, and it's kind of like a corporate Castlevania is what I'm doing for themes. But as far as like the aesthetic goes, I want to go with something that's like, and we'll look more at inspiration stuff, but I love the Trigger anime. So there's an anime studio called Trigger that does just the most vibrant, colorful works. So I want to take, both the pop and vibrancy of their color schemes, and some of the other, they have a lot of cool visual elements. That's Pull Trigger. That's not, but like that's Promare. It's a really pretty anime movie. I'm going to take that kind of pop aesthetic, and then the 3D work is going to be based on Mega Man Legends, which rip in peace Mega Man Legends 3. We almost had G. Yeah, but this is like a 32-bit game that had like a cartoon style that was really vibrant and poppin'. And I'm gonna, whenever we do start making one of these characters into 3D, I'm gonna definitely look to how they constructed their models as my source of inspiration. But yeah, all right, that covers all of it. That's a lot. I won't always review the project at the beginning of the stream. I'll probably do a shorthand for you guys. But that is what I'm going for. Corporate Castlevania, looks like Mega Man Legends, and plays a bit like Yoshi's Story and Klonoa. Ta-da! Yes. Alright, so for today, you get a peek into my my Pinterest, which hopefully isn't too inappropriate. Also, you guys, my Instagram is, I'm gonna post it in chat because let me tell you, if you're a graphic designer or if you work on illustration work, I highly recommend you go and follow my Instagram, or sorry, my Pinterest. I was known at my office that I worked at for my Pinterest pages. They're exhaustive, absolutely exhaustive. I am terrifyingly organized with my my pinning. I'm gonna open up some pins here to get both inspiration for our character as well as art. Yeah, sorry guys if anything pops up inappropriate. I hope not. Hopefully not. Because they do have illustration references, and I don't. Here's what I'm gonna do. Just so YouTube algorithm doesn't get me. I'm gonna move this aside for a second. And let's see, who can I leave for you guys? Grabbing some quick inspo. Yeah, part of it is I want the character to wear some really cool streetwear. Oh, yeah. And like this. Oh look, people have already done some, I've tried this pen. Yeah, baby. So cool. So she's on the softball team, and so I want to do something where she's a cross of an office lady, like a Japanese office lady in attire, but she also just got done playing her softball match for her corporation. So she's gonna have like a nice Letterman jacket and helmet. And part of it, as she defeats these bosses, these CEOs, these literal bosses, she'll gain a power like Mega Man does, and her baseball helmet will change to represent whatever power she's gained. Yeah, I'll show you guys this here. Got some really sweet, baseball poses. Just gotta get one that fits the theme for today. Boom, that one's cool looking. Do that. That's pretty sick. Okay, we'll start with these two, and then here's my. By the way, guys, in case you want to know what I'm going for, this is my hard drive 32 Pinterest board. Gosh, if I can get close to the art here, it'd be fantastic. I'd be so happy. Hang on a second. Man, I love the 90s illustration style of like Masamune Shirow, the person behind Ghost in the Shell's like character design and illustration work. So cool. I thought I had more safe than that. Stuff like this is what I want to go for. I want to do that 90s Japanese aesthetic. When the setting's gonna be like near future, like 10 years in the future, because I do want to do some fun techno-y things, synth wavy things, but I don't want to be too detached from reality. You know, werewolves, corporate werewolves is, you know, they're real. It's not just a game. I have to be careful on which of these. By the way, you guys, don't be careful on the Googling of Masamune Shirow. You might, that Ghost in the Shell artist, let's say, did some other lewd things, and so your Google results might be a little corrupt. Jeez, that's creepy. That doll? This doll here? Jeez. No, that doesn't anything to do with anything. Yeah, the old illustration style is so detailed. Okay, Studio Trigger. Oh, cool, man. Looks like it's their concept art. They're so good. So good. Don't expect this level, man. Don't, let me tell you, but I'm gonna try my darndest. Oh, wow. Oops. Let's save that to a new one, man. Let's create a new board called Old Money. Old Money. I love classic anime, you guys. I definitely might, in this channel, rep some of them later down the line. Gosh, man. There's so many really cool... One thing is, I would love to get to the point where, even if my prototype is good enough, to work with some of those artists out there on Instagram that are doing the classic 90s anime style. There's like a ton of them right now, and they're fantastic. It's so cool to see their art in the game. But I would love to get to that point to give them an opportunity. And hopefully they'd be interested. Let's not get too distracted. Okay. this. So I can save this image. Sometimes you can't. Yep, you can. Let's create a new folder. Game dev, old money. Content. Save. Today's gonna be kind of just flexing the creative muscles too. It won't be necessarily be doing a character sheet for 3D modeling. That'll come later. I just wanted to get back in the swing of these things because it's been years since I've done like a lot of illustration work. I've done stuff off and on. But it's gonna be really good to just get back into it. Thing. That's pretty cool. Do a close up too. Let's save that one. Okay. Oops. Okay, come back. Save. Now I don't want her skewing as young as this person looks, but I do want just an overly large Letterman jacket. And part of it's like I want a lot of motion with the characters, so when she swings the bat, it's like the Letterman jacket behind the Letterman jacket will move along with her. Downside of this character, I do want her to have longer hair because she's wearing a helmet. You can see it. Cool. Let's have some fun. Let's just have some fun today and do some drawing. We'll worry about the specifics of this character a little bit later. Right, so, start up Photoshop. Which I do eventually want to invest, like, there's other drawing programs out there like Clip Paint Studio. They have so many awesome features and they ran fantastic. So eventually I might switch over to that. But for now, like, my familiarity is in Photoshop, just because of my graphic design stuff. And so I don't want to switch just yet. Maybe a little bit later. You can see all my design stuff I'm working on. Money. Let's do OM. I want this to run well, which is 3K as far as pixels go. Slightly gray, getting concepting. Start dropping in our inspiration images. this one. By the way, as far as concept art goes, I do want to recommend a YouTube channel for you guys. Let me pop it open and I'll throw it in stream real quick. If you guys are wanting to learn how to draw, there's like 2 big channels that I think are the best on YouTube as far as learning to draw. One is Ethan Brecker and the other one is Proco. Proco, he's a very fundamentals guy. Like he'll teach you things with the musculature, perspective, all these kind of things. By the way, and me recommending this guy does not mean that I am as good as him. But I do want to say, if you want a good teacher for the fundamentals, which is where I think a lot of people should start in drawing, check out his channel and go through his starter series. They're fantastic. And then the other fellow is Ethan Becker. He's a concept artist, and what makes him so good is that he just gives you honest advice about being a working professional, as well as like the shortcuts. So you're about to see me draw over this pose, because in the industry, like, no one cares like where you got the initial pose from. They don't want me to like. So for example, like here I go. Let's say I was like drawing this here. Let's lower smoothing here. Oh geez. Somehow let me make sure this tablet's set up okay too. Let me do one thing, guys. My Wacom sees that I have multiple desktops, and it's like, shh, you want to do that across all the desktops? Alright, options. Mapping. Here you go. Okay. Yeah, look at this. It's doing it across all of them. Screen. No, monitor 2. There we go. Cool. There we go. Now let me see if it's set up right. Oh man, that's so much better. That was so bad, guys. I was like, what is happening here? Alright, so anyways, back to what I was saying about like working professionals. Working professionals really don't care where you got the original pose from. So, for example, here I can like... And by the way, I am no pro. That is for sure. It's been a while too, but let's say I'm working on this person. Boy, I have got to get used to a tablet again. This is crazy. It's just slow to me. I don't know why it's going really slow. Settings that are in Photoshop. Whatever I'm doing. So you know, in this pose and what have yous. I could do it this way, you know. I could actually like take the time to set up all these poses. Make sure all the forms are okay, and just like go through it all. Or I could just sketch over it and distort the proportions later. So that's what I'm gonna do, honestly. I wish. Oh my gosh. So I guess it's been a while. I'm trying to remember the. Oh, I don't have the. Usually I have shortcut keys set up to make new layers, but I forgot I did a hard reset on my computer, so I don't have them. Anyways, let's just go with what we got today. The basics here, the mask. This is something, for example, on Ethan Brecker's channel, he recommends, because it's just like, you got concept artists are knocking out tons of drawings every day, just hundreds, yeah, maybe honestly hundreds of drawings, and so they don't have like just a ton of time to just dilly-dally on stuff. They need to get it to look good and get it looking good fast. And so, feel free to use reference, and like, you'll see whenever you're a kid, you trace after things, and then at some point you're gonna have an art teacher who's like, oh, you're not a legitimate artist because you trace things, and they're not wrong. They want you to learn the fundamentals, so you know what's wrong, and I need to practice my fundamentals. However, I just want to say, like, when you're getting started, guys, don't feel bad to trace, because you can always adjust later, and it's going to teach you so much of what's there, as far as like what's actually happening with forms and so forth. For example, like, I don't like her pose there. While she's doing that, we probably end up adjusting her leg stuff to where she's more properly got her feet positioned here. Arms in. The other thing is, it's so easy to give up on drawings too early in the process. So I'm making a very conscious effort today that I am going to work on this drawing for quite a while. That's good. Just one thing here. Make sure all my streaming stuff's still going okay. Awesome. Okay. And just a reminder for people tuning in, this is Hard Drive 32, a dedicated channel to provide the nostalgia of the 32-bit generation. Yeah, making games. So feel free, I'm going to be doing this Monday through Friday around noon. Join me any old time, and we'll take it from there. Alright, so the character, for example, the character I want to go with, proportionally, this isn't how I would want her. I want her to be a little bit shorter, longer legs, and so this is like, for example, this wouldn't work. So even though I've worked off reference here, I'm going to take a moment here we go. Man, my computer's running slow. What the heck is going on? Oh, 1 second, guys. Control D. Escape. Save. Close out and jump back in. Also drink some coffee. I'm gonna have coffee, and then you're gonna hear me chew on a children's cookie. The letter O. And the letter Y. Oh, I see what's happening. Sometimes YouTube, or sorry, not YouTube, but Photoshop will set itself to auto-select, so it guesses what layer you're trying to select, and it can be real obnoxious. If you guys ever have a problem selecting a layer, double check the selection tool in the upper left here. You might find it's on. So for example, when I was trying to click my drawing, it was selecting the background. I bet if I clicked right on, yeah, I have to click directly on those little lines and be able to select it, and that's Garbo. You don't want that. Okay, back to the character here. So really quickly, I'm just going to distort the character proportions here. So, select some stuff. It doesn't have to be accurate at all, so I'm going to do a redraw here. I just want the general idea here of what I was going for. I want to see even too much Oh my gosh. I ain't turning this off. I don't know why it's doing this. I wonder if that's Windows Ink. That's so stupid. I'll put that. Turns that off. That was dumb. Let me see. Oh, it's still doing it. Recently switched to Windows, you guys, and I'm learning all sorts of things that are really obnoxious. That Windows is awesome, but there's just things I've got to figure out here. Nope. No Windows Ink, please. Oh, thank God. Okay. Whew. Whatever. So yeah, played around with the pose. That's cool. But now let's actually. So yeah, like I said, we got her pose there. Oops. And now let's do like a better redraw of this. Let's get some other inspo. input 100%, but then here, set to 50.
I don't want your story, I just need a name. Details only bore me, we just came to play. Everyone around you is just in the way. You don't want my story, you just need a name. And it goes 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, 4. Make the same mistake on board. Running circles round our heads. Laughing hurts, so we play dead. 5 times, oh, and that makes 6. Really hoping this one sticks. Bang my head against the wall. What's it take to make us fall? Maybe he can make it better. Maybe he can. Maybe he can. Maybe he can. Maybe he can. Maybe he's gonna fill ourselves. Even no one
I do eventually want to get rid of this whole like chicken scratch lines thing I'm doing. That's like when you're new at drawing, you do it, and it's been so long since I've drawn, so I'm doing it. But hopefully, I'll fix it with time. Nice chicken scratch slides. They are what they are until they get better. Okay, should get proportion a little closer. I'm looking for. Cozy wozies, like that. Same line. A little bit outwards. Big beats. Might adjust that later. Okay. Now we do close the top of that. One thing that kind of sucks that Clip Paint Studio can do is it can do time lapses. And Unity sadly doesn't have that filter or feature built in. Like, it really should be awesome for artists. Share their work and stuff, but oh well, I'll get there eventually. And it may be unfortunate, you know, we might stop a little earlier today. We'll see how far we get. But getting back in the swing of things, it's gonna take me a little bit. So now, look at that weird glitch in the movies. Oh my gosh, computer. Please don't snap to anything. Yeah, look at snapping. It still is snapping. Yo, it's still doing it. It's gotta majorly improve. Turning these off isn't gonna majorly fix it, but let's find out. If you guys ever have this problem, Photoshop snapping to lines while drawing. Good logo. Okay, let's just keep going. Let's just rock it. We're sure on time. I want to keep drawing with you guys. So one thing to do is I could just work with larger lines too. Because I do want her design to be distinctive and stuff. So that goes about to pretty low on her knees. So she's got. We're just working with the basics designs here. Swing it around here. Too high here. She's like, let's give it a little more drama. Sweep back around. Hopefully you won't see the other side of that. As far as forms go, I'll probably do a little bunching here. Go hang off that. Hang. Da, 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 turn. Looks like it does two separate colors, but it holds close to the neck here. Goes around this part of the neck. Cracks me up. When I'm drawing, my mouth is like open all the time. Just, get too into it. Just have fun. What the hell? Let's rock. Okay. So that looks like it. So little collar. And that portion connects to that. So hefty. Probably eventually want to play with these proportions. Bunches. I'm so out of practice, you guys, but that's all right. We're not giving up. That's the thing about drawing is like at first I always have a little bit of a hard time to get back into it, but then after like a couple weeks, it's easy peasy and I really enjoy myself. She'll probably come back. She's like getting into this pose here. Which actually, she's getting into that pose. Like, let's really swing this around. Create like a line there. That gives an opportunity to see her skirt, her business skirt, just a little bit of it. Hands here. I'll worry about later. Might do something with those hands because it's not very exciting. Cool, she was wearing. Let me look for my inspo. Yeah. Just come below the knee. I think it'd be awesome if she's like rocking the cleats. Sound effects make you draw better, by the way. Baseball hat. Baseball hat around here. Set on There's just something with this snapping that's really bothering me. Good golly. Good golly, Miss Molly. Oh, Bills. Bills. It's Hat Bill. I do want her to have longer hair. Part of it, I think it'd be cool if she has longer hair with each transformation, like each power she gains from the boss. will give her hair a new form. It's like when she defeats a vampire boss, her hair will... Ooh, crap. Let's go back. Hopefully I get enough states. Before I keep drawing, actually, let's boost how many animations. If you guys ever want to change how many states you have as far as resetting goes, you can go to preferences and then performance, and that's where you change how many times you can erase something. Necessarily what I'm going to do with the hair just yet. Placeholder plates. Not too worried on the design necessarily. Stick it there. Closer. The thing is, I'm gonna have to really play around this, is that so much of this is about the storytelling. I have this character design, but I play around with their storytelling so you can understand who she is, where she comes from, and all that kind of thing. So right now I'm just trying a baseball player, but a good concept designer would add a lot of storytelling elements to it. So I think mixing the office lady with the baseball thing is gonna help a lot. Plus maybe some of the demonic things that are baseball bat, or that are hat provides would be another. Alright, we're gonna call that quits there. And now, peeps, we're going to transition back to Bolt, Unity Bolt, keep that tutorial going, and try to get it done. And just a reminder, this is Hard Drive 32, indie dev channel dedicated to reviving the 32-bit generation. And mixing that with new game dev techniques. I'm Alex Wolfgang. If you're enjoying yourself, or if you're working on your own projects and you want to collaborate, or anything, if you're in the same sphere, doing the same journey, you're already my bud. So like, comment, subscribe, and let's get in contact. Pop up in the community here. And I'll start practicing my drawings on the side, so that way I level up my skills really fast. It takes a bit of time for me to get that rust off the drawing sword. Unity Hub. So last we left off with the Unity Bolt tutorial, we got the character walking, we got spikes, we got levels loading, levels saving as far as our progress goes. The only hitch we ran into was the objective system and the key system. And so we're going to try to fix that today. And I don't know how long that's going to take us. Hopefully not too long. I'm going to rework through some of the earlier tutorials really quickly and hopefully find what I did wrong in those. And then from there... Oh, thank you, dude. Okay. Ooh. All right, good. The audio is too low. Yeah, let me boost it up then. part of me wonders it's also my microphone. I'm trying to get it boosted up towards a little louder. Put in there in case it is too low to hear me. Yeah, let's real quickly see if we can't boost audio. Maybe I'll just swallow my microphone. Be a way to hear it better. Let's see here. I think I have my recording already at the max, but there might be a way for me to artificially boost it beyond that. I wish I could go beyond there. This should, I don't think this boosts the actual volume. Look at that whirl though. Advanced. Let's see here. Mic volume. Recording volume. Windows 10. Probably gonna give me the same thing that I just did, but we'll see. Input, ensure your microphone is selected. How about this? I'm marking Streamlabs. Mic volume. I might even be able to put an effect on my mic, so that way it's louder. Cool. That's what I'll do. Thank you. Yeah, let me add gain. That sounds great. All right. Hopefully it's not too loud now. Is that better? Let's see here, doing some adjustments. Let me go. Oh yeah, okay, so that definitely boosts me. I can blow out someone's eardrums, but this is great. Okay. Man, thank you so much for noticing this, by the way. For a long time now, I've been using Microsoft to boost, or Windows to boost it, the settings. And I was like, definitely it was quieter than most other streamers, so I was like concerned about that. That's much better? Oh dude, I had it like, so what's funny is it's clipping through to the red zone as far as like the decibel level. However, the gain is on 14. So I have it set to 14 on the gain. But that's awesome. Oh. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. So this is the coding setting or section, by the way. We'll see how this goes here. All right, open it back up. Player, my level. That sounds good. Yeah, I think I've got some on there, but let me check its settings. I do have a limiter. Let me adjust it though. Such a pro, such a pro. Nice, thanks dude. 12. Cool, okay. That, oh man, I'm watching the levels. That's a lot better. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, because it looks like I'm hitting the yellow, which is fine for decibel levels. By the way, fun aside, I used to work at PBS, and I actually edited a video for people, and there was all sorts of weird things they would do at PBS. For one, if a TV show was meant for old people, so if it was old like Ken Burns thing, I had to crank up the volume on the TV shows because they're like, the older audience that are watching this show won't be able to hear it. So if you're ever watching PBS and you're like, because you know people watch PBS in the 21st century, but if you're ever on there and some old timey show or something you think a grandparent would watch is on, you'll notice the volume jumps up because they're like, they can't hear anything, so we got to pump up the volume for them. And what was the other things? There's all sorts of weird little things. Oh, also at PBS everything's still on a VHS and it's really backwards. Yeah, part of my job was like upscaling all of their videos from VHS onto the servers. Oh, and one time there's the building we were in at PBS, all their heat went out, AC, during summer, and literally we were sprinting from building to, yeah, gotta cater your audience, of course, man. But they were so cheap at PBS that when their AC went out, they tried to get somebody in there to fix it, because like literally just it was getting to be like 80-90 degrees inside the room super quick because of all the servers and VHS machines running, that we sprinted around campus and we were grabbing every single fan from every single building, which I went to University of Central Missouri, so we were stealing all the fans, and in the end we had like 20 to 30 fans placed inside this room blowing all at once while we're running like extension cords into the room to save everything before all of their databases just melted down. That was a crazy red alert day. One of the few at PBS. PBS was mostly boring, and me working on video while watching 1,000 episodes of Curious George, which, man, that show's legit. Curious George is great. If you ever want to watch children's shows as an adult, I recommend Curious George. Or Cat in the Hat, because he's super duper sassy to the kids and always telling the kids to more or less do dangerous things that their parents don't want them to do. If a cat in the hat ever approaches your children, he's out for no good. You call the police and you get that cat out of your yard. Alright, we're gonna double check against. So something happened where the spikes weren't killing the character on certain levels, which would imply to me that the death event wasn't on every spike within the project. So let's see how this starts out. In your player controller graph, add a death group with the following units. So we're gonna go to player controller graph. Okay. We're gonna try and find, okay, this was it here. I'm gonna call it, instead of spike reload scene, call it death reload. This should say, I believe, player. So I might have already caught what's going on. They'll tell me to do all sorts of things in the tutorial, which we covered last time. Tag player, okay. Cause it death super unit. Yeah, let's go to the next tutorial. It makes us create what's known as a super unit, which is a collection of code all in one. And what's great is you can create inputs and outputs and then feed things in or have things go out. So that way you're not recreating the same code over and over again. Okay. Thanks, amigo. I'm gonna tell Carrie right after this what's going on with the little tree sap. Oh, excellent. Yeah, by the way, I'm really excited. So Monday through Thursday, I'm gonna do the dev streams, and on Friday, I'm gonna make just dedicated to playing some crazy weird indie game off itch.io. And so that's gonna be, I'm pretty excited about that. My brother watched actually one of the other ones, and he was like kind of fascinated because I was giving a breakdown on some of the game stuff that went into making, you know, an indie game. And so that's gonna be actually pretty cool, break it down for people, some of the inner workings of whatever game I'm playing at the time. Okay. Oh, dude. Oh. Oh, I totally missed a tutorial step. No wonder my stuff was broke last time. Oh my gosh. That makes so much sense. Whew. Alright. In this tutorial, we will add health and damage to our player. Good golly, I wish I'd got this last time. That's what's up. And unfortunately, we won't be able to get tested completely until we add enemies in the next part. Oh wait. That can't be right. No, I didn't skip anything. I ain't dumb. I ain't no dum-dum. I just missed something. Yes, okay. That's where awesome. Okay, that's where I messed up last time. Ooh, I real messed up. Okay, let's see if this works. So I forgot to do a tag, I believe. And that's what prevented it. Oh, well. Ooh, come on, baby. Why aren't you working? Okay, one mystery solved. It was the tags, but it was with the spikes, so that's complete now. next step here. It's figuring out why the UI is a little borked. Okay, so let's test this. Make sure my level change still works. All right, that works too. The key stuff though, that needs some work. Okay. And this is where the problems started. But once I figure this out, I can move on to the next thing. So, let's see here. It says, because we won't be implementing the logic for the pause menu until the end of this tutorial, we will disable it for now so it doesn't cover up our view while playing. Open the HUD scene, select the pause menu object, and make it inactive. That's done. Create the HUD loader. Okay. Oh, mistakes were made here, I think. So has key prefab and it's a bool. Okay, that's set up. Wonderful. Create the key flow machine. So that's already one mistake. Looks like I added to the HUD loader the key stuff when I should have added the key. So objective. Let's open up level 2 where we got a key. Let's add it to here. Let's see if that fixes it. I would love if it fixes it. Okay. Oh no, still got crazy errors. Okay, that's okay. The journey continues. Oh, that's not even on. That may be on the door. Okay, so we got a door. Has door key open. Okay, did that. slurping on my coffee in the mic. It's a little ASMR coffee slurping. Here it goes. Oh, this is good coffee. Can't wait to drink this coffee. Hope that tickled the ears. This is pretty damn good coffee. Okay, go to HUD scene. And find our key. All right. Let's add a flow machine component. My mom, she texted me a single word that says, Mr. Slurpee. Out of context, I have no idea. Oh, I do know what that means. I think she's watching. Yeah. My mom watches my stream. Yay! I got a fan. I have a forever fan. It means a lot. Hi, Mom. I love you. Always rep your mom, people. Always say you love your mom every day. Okay, key and scene. We're gonna fix this. We gonna fix this. Okay. Actually need a, be a good idea for me to label this. This is search for key. Find key scene. Might as well add some text, doesn't hurt here. All right. Now this was the one I had issues with. Let's find out what's going on here. Let's just mimic exactly what they have here before I mess with it. So what it says is find with tag. Game object find with tag. Tag. So get, which is like finding. Make sure there's not another one with the same name. Find with tag. Shouldn't be. Oh, there is. Oh gosh. That may have been where I messed up. And that tag is named player. And then it's going to say, hey, do you have a key or not? And then it gives you true, false, yes, no. And it changes the sprite. With sprite being art, it's like in games, a sprite is like artwork. So ASCII full, ASCII empty, both in true, false, self. Okay. Go ahead and save. So far nothing's been messed up. Now it wants us to open the player control flow macro. Let's go macro, player control. Which is what we're in now. And this is where we set this up. Just add it anywhere it says application self. Okay. And And they want us to label it singleton. I'm gonna have to look up what singleton means. Let's do that on the stream, just for a moment. Just as for educational purposes, let's find out what singleton means in programming terms. That's a new word for me. I don't know what it means. Maybe new to you, maybe not. Singleton pregnancy is what autofills do. Programming term in C++. Okay, singleton design pattern is a software design principle that is used to restrict the instantiation, means the creation of something, of a class to one object. This is useful when exactly one object is needed to coordinate actions across the system. For example, if you're using a logger that writes logs to a file, you can use a singleton class to create such a logger. You can create a singleton class using the following code. Okay, all that's really saying is whenever you want to use something, have something that works once within a single object, the singleton's fantastic because it's not something you're going to be doing over and over again across all sorts of things in the system. So you want to do that for performance reasons. And so this, because we don't want this to happen over and over again, we want to have it only happen once, which is for this character player to look for the key. That's, I guess, what a singleton is. The fullness of what that means, a singleton, I don't know yet, but I will eventually. See, now that it's done, we can go back to our HUD key graph and replace HUD key graph, okay, and replace find with tag to get application variable. Okay, so we can go key, add unit, get application, or get variable mode, or get application variable, player, and that was, where do we feed that into the graph? Oops. Is this our key? Is that all there is? I might have found my problem just now. Oh, see, here's the problem. Okay, I think they may have done a typo. Go back to our HUD key graph and replace find with tag to get application variable. They had us put this in door. This might actually be wrong. That'd make me feel good. It's not working now. I wonder why. Let's see here. Oh, that's to destroy. Oh my gosh. It's working. Oh, I'm so happy. Oh my goodness. I think it's working. Oh my golly, I am so happy. Oh, it worked there. Let's try it on a level though. Oh, please work. Please, 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 please. it's working. Let's see if it still works. Okay, it kind of works. It's a little broken, guys, but I'm still so happy. The one thing that's not working is it needs to the true false isn't working quite right there. You know why though? This is where I messed up. I changed the player thing to say you always had key, I think. If I remember right, I went in here and I was like, earlier, yep, boom. Yep, that happened last time I messed that up. I clicked so Boolean is kind of like yes, no, it's a check mark on, off. If you look here in the middle, last time I clicked yes, no on that. So this should work now. Yeah, the key's not there. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy. Oh man. This is great, guys. Roadblocks are gone. I can keep working ahead on this tutorial. Oh, and there's the key popping up. Oh my goodness. Guys, I think I'm gonna end on this note just because I fixed everything and it's working and I'm so proud and I don't want to mess anything up before I end. So yeah, I'm gonna call it quits for today. I'll be back on tomorrow, of course. Going to begin the first half with illustration work like I did today. And the second half will be continuing the Unity Bolt tutorial. And as always, you know, follow your guys' hearts. Feel free if you're working on a game project yourselves or want to connect at all. Just comment on the YouTube or Instagram as well. I'm on there at HeartDrive32. And you guys have an awesome day out there. Ciao. Once I find my close stream button too.